Past on New Year's Day.
It's not covered in chocolate though.
No, it's not covered in chocolate.
Basically,
Yeah,
one of you's forgot to
unfortunately.
fire the waste disposal port at the sun.
Yeah,
and it's just been flown away.
Pretty much.
I was going to head
pretty
out there and
much.
mine the chocolate.
That just sounds so terribly wrong with me.
It's just a theory. A scam theory. Welcome to a very special episode 29 of the Unmonetisables, the official podcast of the FAWK Chronicles on YouTube, the dumbest search for intelligence. My name is Cpt Privilege, and with me through no choice of their own are Dr. Darkside,
I think you're just a theory.
Grandmaster Tech.
This better not be a scam. Sounds like a scam.
Well, only time shall tell. Okay, or
Scam.
maybe MatPat will tell all. But that's coming up in a moment, because this is the only show in the galaxy, folks, that expertly dissects your primitive planet's curatable culture, aka the trending tat of the week. But heading us off with the first tidbit: DeFranco MAGA kids apology.
What?
Oh, he's missed this. So you wouldn't have missed how a bunch of students from some fucking conservative Catholic school were out on a day trip with their MAGA hats on.
Yeah.
Apparently that's news.
No, well, what was news was when the news decided to throw all these kids under the bus and accuse them of surrounding, abusing, throwing insults, and threatening a Native American man who stood in amongst them, banging his drum.
Yeah.
And what do they declare as abuse?
Well, what actually
Saying
happened
hello to him.
when you see the
wearing a
footage was they were pretty much finished their day and were assembled waiting on the bus. But then the Black Israelites Brotherhood, you may have seen these guys kicking about on YouTube. Just three black guys who stand there spouting Alex Jones level conspiracy theory shit.
I've seen them elsewhere, yeah.
Blacks were the original Jews. Jesus was black. All white men
really
are inbred.
Kind of fundamentalist kind of people.
And
yeah.
they're breeding black people for their organs. Just a whole bunch of fucking mad shit. They happened to be where those kids were and started their shit.
Oh, joy.
Straight off with it. Check out these little motherfucking future school shooters.
Oh,
Check
my
out
God.
these little F words and calling them all sorts, inbred and all
Red
that
rag
shit,
taboo
man. Like,
kind of thing,
proper
yeah.
goading these kids.
All right.
So eventually the kids were like, here, Sar, can we just like sing our school chants and that, and we'll just like drown them out. So they're all singing their wee daft, lame school chants, giving it like, oh yeah, love, 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 what the fuck ever. Just as a Native American march had finished about 100 yards down the road, and the last dwindling few had come across this commotion,
Huge
basically.
confluence of outrage.
With these four,
How dare you!
four
How dare you!
Black Israelite Brotherhood members screaming abuse at a gang. All the Native American boys seen was like 40 kids with MAGA hats on, standing across these black guys shouting at them. So they're like, right, what I'll do, and this is straight for his mouth, was all I seen was those guys could have got the shit kicked out of them. So I decided to put myself in between the groups and playing his drum that he
What's this
bought for
got
the
to do with
march.
DeFranco?
I'll get there.
Right.
Hold your horses,
Long story,
Darkside,
basically.
right? What are you implying, that I never get to the point? Or have to explain it all to you guys to unravel where the fuck we actually are in present
We're
time?
still
If you
waiting
just
for the
hurried up a
punchline.
bit, explaining it, right? I get what you get. Native
Long
American
story
guy.
short, Native American
injecting
boy
himself in
pretty
the middle
much
here.
said that he like was just trying to chill the shit out and bang his drum playing the peace tune. And then
How many American kids know the peace tune?
But they actually all joined in, which is kind
Yeah,
of cute
which is
but
kinda
kind of
cool.
offensive,
Yeah.
because he's banging his drum whilst they were chanting, so they all started chanting, oh. So of course this didn't look great. The internet jumped on it. Boom. They're all racist. They all surrounded this guy.
Yeah.
They're clearly surrounded him. Look at them surrounding him and abusing them. They were chanting build the wall.
Taking everything out of context.
DeFranco grabs his phone and films a little phone vid and says just the fucking Twitter line, just the headline.
He didn't
Look at
have
this,
anything to
it's a
do with the
problem.
situation. He just happened to be walking past.
No, he intersected himself in a video post fucking haste after everything
All right.
went down. He decided to fucking chime in. You know, he doesn't usually do that with his videos. He actually lays out the news.
This was on his
DeFranco.
second channel, right?
Probably. Oh,
Yeah.
just his Twitter.
Yeah,
He just
yeah,
uploaded it to his fucking Twitter or his Instagram.
He doesn't want to bring down the analytics on his main channel.
Yeah, he just
does he?
fucking just regurgitated the company line, the Twitter line, the headline, and as the news come out and the footage come out over the course of the day, it was patently obvious that these kids, although wearing MAGA hats like little shits, weren't actually doing anything wrong. Whilst the black Israelites were shouting homophobic slurs at them, the kids were going, yeah, what would be wrong with that if we were gay? What's wrong with you guys? You know? and the main picture was the standoff between this kid, this white kid with a MAGA hat, and the Native American dude. Turns out the kid was, and his response is like, basically I was worried because the Native American guy just kept walking into our group, and I was worried that it might have caused a commotion. So when he stopped at me, I decided to just stand there, motionless, and just smile. And hopefully that would diffuse any situation that could have happened for it. And essentially it did. But all the pictures is just this kid smiling with a MAGA hat on, right in an Indian fucking Indian
This
face.
story about a non-story is essentially everything that's wrong with the Western world, right?
Oh, that's funny because that's what DeFranco covered with. There's 20 fucking MAGA heads. What's wrong with America? It's racism.
They're what's wrong with America.
Yeah.
This story's what's wrong with America.
But
This
the main
non-story.
point, the theme of the show today is that DeFranco, thankfully, after getting called the fuck out by everyone, came out on his main show and apologised. And actually set the
at
record
least
straight.
he's got some sense in. He's on his last
Well, that's
his
it,
last
yeah.
legs, I think.
Not as long as he's feeding me half the content on his podcast. But from Wayne's apology to a gay apology, Logan interviews a gay advocate to apologise for his...
Oh no, I was going to say this isn't his research for his role that he's going to be playing, no?
It's funny you should say that, actually, because that was one of his excuses. But it was interesting because you brought on this guy who was like ex-military and shit experience. He was actually the progenitor of the don't ask, don't tell fucking backlash stuff with the military. You know, it's like it wasn't illegal to be gay, but don't fucking say you're gay or else you'll be in shit.
Yeah.
So this guy seemed like a legit person to come on until he nearly lost me when he started using the phrase privilege. God knows why he was, forsaking my namesake like that. But Logan actually laid out an alright response. Basically said that he used the poor choice of words saying that he would go gay for a month as opposed to he would experiment for a month. However, it's quite funny because he's backwards and forwards with a guy. Never fully...
not in a kind of official,
don't say
physical
backwards.
sense.
Don't say forwards. But he said that he basically challenged the guy to be like, oh, so you think I was joking? And the guy's like, oh, well, were you joking? No, but would that be wrong? Would it be wrong if I wasn't joking? And who's to say I wasn't joking? Like really awkwardly, never came out and said I will.
Like the previous story, it's just more outrage porn. It's just turn that boat into the incoming waves of outrage and see how much outrage we can actually kind of create and endure. It's like,
well, this was him trying to do.
dude, this is a
somewhat damage
non-situation
control,
that
and I
you've
could hear a
created.
frustrated teenager in his voice, or late 20-year-old in his voice, mid 20-year-old.
He knows he's irrelevant, and this is the only way that he can. This is the only way that he can keep himself in the public eye is by constantly courting outrage. Right?
I don't think so. I think he started this podcast
He's got nothing to say.
to start a conversation.
He's
and
got
that's
nothing
what
to
they
say
have.
other than buy my shit.
That's
basically.
not true. You need to listen to Impulsive
Or buy somebody
Logan
else's
Paul
shit.
podcast to hear what he says.
Kids gamble. That's pretty much all he's got to say.
That's his brother. That's not him. Okay.
Same thing. They're both the same.
Same thing.
Both exactly the same.
They're both just the same
They
thing.
are. It's like twins, but
Get
years
your eyes
apart.
at your fucking
Yeah.
your explorer portal where they are. Join in the convo for fuck's sake, or else I'll beat you.
You get jettisoned out the
Beat you
airlock.
to death in the octagon. At least that's what was supposed to happen between Andy Worski and Tonkin. You
Holy
might not know these
Fuck,
names.
that segue was
That was
stretched.
fucking
Well,
amazing.
we're moving
That
away
was
from
strange.
wrestling
Holy
into
crap.
And
kind of
MMA
cage
matches.
battles.
They were two guys that are involved in sort of the internet blood sports community, where
Okay.
these fuckers just get online and just scream and rant and rave at each other. Now, Warski was kind of written off, and a bunch of these guys were written off in subpart because they were interviewing Nazis.
Verbal
and
blood
debating
sports or
Nazis.
actual blood sports?
Oh, it's the figurative blood
Oh,
sports.
right, okay.
You know?
Yeah.
This is where the mundane Mac guy got ripped and found the
The
best
actual
fucking
blood
that
sports
ever.
would have been cool, though.
Monday, but a bunch of the guys that get on stream and they'll argue about something and then they'll pull a motherfucker in and go, right then, argue it out then, debate it. And they'll have it the fuck out there on stream. But like I said, Worski was kind of subpar because he'd been debating Nazis and everyone's like, you're giving them a platform. And Worski's now the most smartest and intelligent guy to be debating these folks. But anyway, him and another guy called Tonkin used to be buddies. And then they fell out. The next thing you know, this Tonkin guy who used to be a wrestler, an amateur wrestler, professional amateur wrestler, whatever you call it, started just giving it the tough guy talk online, saying, I want to fight this guy, I want to kick his ass. So Worski said, cool, let's do it. They hooked up a pal that had an amateur MMA fucking circuit.
Right.
And was literally like, right, we'll schedule the match. Boom, it's done.
And which one backed out?
Tonkin guy.
I knew this was coming.
So the Tonkin guy that was trash talking, giving it all big licks, changed his name after he signed the contract. Legally changed his name.
Oh, shut up. That's how you
Straight
get...
up, apparently he changed his name and sent in the blood work under the new name.
That's
so
a
that
really...
validated
That's a
the
really
contract.
bloke's way to try and get out of a fight, right? I'm gonna change my name by people.
What's even more interesting
It's not me
is that
that
the
signed
theory
it.
is the guy's actually fucked and he's in a wheelchair. He's never been on camera. So like there's like internet wise, they've got some footage of his amateur wrestling days and he's a skinny little white kid with fucking long hair. And Worski went and done the training for a couple of months straight up, ready to beat this guy up and fight him. Ended up, even up to the day, even though it was cancelled, had been and said to have been cancelled, he kept saying, I'll be there, even though he couldn't illegally fight.
There's some kind of lesson
up.
here. I don't know what the lesson
Worski
is,
turned
but-
up himself in a wheelchair with a fake plastic belt and took the win. But since then, this guy's been screaming and crying that he's still going to beat his ass and wants to fight him again. You know, it's just a little corner of the internet you might not catch one day, but it was quite funny to see it all go down in the course of a week. But, talking of being crippled, MatPat strikes back. This was in regards to the early title, Game Theory, MatPat for Game Theorists. He released his video drop kicking it to the Defy fucking story. You remember Defy Media closed, one of the biggest MCNs around. They owned Smosh, Smosh. Just bought it out for under them, but they represented bigger YouTubers like Game Theorists and fucking Mr. Sunday Movies, a comic book guy that I listened to in that. And then they folded and ran away with the money. They've got a 70 million investment and basically paid off their debts and ran away. So MatPat worked for them for 3 years and was really good friends with the owner, and was like, I phoned him on the Saturday, he was asking me about my kid that we just had, and he was bragging about this 70 million injection of cash that they just had.
So he'll be getting a kickback.
By the Monday, that was it was done, and he kind of got a hot deal. No, well, he's out rallying the cry, we need to stop this shit from going down, because we'll be alright, we've got the money to survive this, but everybody else and all your other creators are getting screwed by MCNs.
What actually happened? I mean,
Defy Media robbed everybody.
They just mismanagement.
Yeah. This is what we keep talking about. You can't monetize the network.
No, you're implying that it was a deliberate scam all the way along, right?
Well, maybe not deliberate scam all the way along, but they definitely knew on that phone call, like you're saying on the Saturday, where he was bigging him up and asking about his kid and telling him, oh yeah, everything's going amazing, we've got 70 million injected.
Right.
The people that are talking about when they were there in the meetings, all the chat was, yeah, but we've got X amount of views. Yeah, but we've got X amount of billion views. Yeah, but...
Did you watch the
fight? Actually turned out they were just buying new channels and collating all those views.
Did you watch the Fire Festival documentary?
I still haven't seen it yet, no.
It's like the dude in that basically just lied and knew that everything was going to blow up in his face pretty much, and just kept lying right up until the last second, until everything blew up.
It's
and
a
then
catch me if you
he
can
ran away.
Fake it till you make it kind of banter, where it can work for some people and it can work sometimes. But
yeah,
in the long run,
it's all a bit sketchy.
But well, that's finally coming on to my favourite part of the show. Usually.
Usually.
Well, you know.
Not today, it's not.
Well, I don't know. It seems a bit quiet on 1/3 of the fucking podcast so far?
I got nothing to add.
You've fucking nothing to add. You've been sitting reading for the past fucking
I'm not even
20
reading,
minutes.
I'm just sitting here
Try
listening. I got
subtracting if
nothing
you
to
can't
add.
add.
Okay, well, what are you doing for recon this week, Darkside? What have you got? Sorry.
The Mystery Core. Have you heard of
Mystery Core?
Is that a new type of metal?
Yeah, totally. That sounds awesome. Mystery core. It's like fantasy core.
Will it or will it not have a beatdown or a drop? That's it.
But it's more of a kind of silent sound at the moment. Basically, over the past wee while on Spotify, people have been believing that their accounts have been hacked because various artists have appeared on their Spotify accounts, and Spotify's telling them, you spent several hours listening to this artist and blah blah blah, and they're all and this has happened to a lot of people. They all believe that their accounts are being hacked, and these random artists are appearing that they've listened to, and nobody's ever heard of them.
Spotify fucking with their numbers,
and these artists have no social media accounts.
Spotify fucking with their numbers.
Don't appear anywhere else on the internet.
Spotify fucking with their numbers.
And when asked about when reporters have asked Spotify about the contact details for these artists, they were declined, and then a few days afterwards, the artist completely disappeared off of Spotify.
Mm-hmm. Did you not hear previously where they were actually facing some sort of legal ramifications because they had been fluffing the numbers? Now, if you know anything about Spotify, and artists get paid on Spotify per play, they get paid fucking peanuts per play. And a huge part, allegedly, for that was because Spotify were paying fucking session musicians to create music so that they would dunk hundreds of playlists.
That's what
these tunes they say about these artists out.
They say about these songs that these songs are nothing to write home about. That they're not great songs. All the song names are pretty generic.
That's what it'll be. They'll be fluffing the numbers again.
Nobody's ever heard of the band names or the DJ names, and they're all really kind of made up sounding. It sounds like there's some kind of
fuckery,
conspiracy going on.
Straight up, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, because they'll go shot in the foot for getting caught doing that in the first place, putting all these artists. Then I'll just go quiet and then just start using folks' account to play it.
Oh, come on, look at Netflix as well. Netflix. Oh yeah, we've got
Who the fuck is this? Sorry, I forgot you were here. Sorry,
well, I got a word in, so it was kind of handy. But yeah, you look at Netflix and it's like, oh yeah, we've got over 1,000 videos on our network or something like that, for example. And you look at like 600 of them are the shittiest of shit B movies that nobody would fucking
original.
watch.
You just bought a shitty
B movie.
Exactly.
It's not a Netflix original because it was an original before you even existed. What the fuck? But it's still pretty ridiculous when you see half of that. Yeah, we've got thousands of videos, thousands of original content.
A bunch of random foreign stuff that you just wouldn't watch as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, random stuff.
But there's hundreds of pounds being made, people calculate, by each of these artists that God knows where this money's went. And that a lot of people think there's some kind of security issue because like people's accounts say that they've listened to these artists and these people haven't listened to these artists.
Ghost plays.
Yeah. Pretty much. That's it. The background numbers will say, you've got 10,000 listeners have listened to this one artist, but on their page,
underlying this is some kind of security issue or some kind of financial crime or something. Perhaps I don't know. It's really dodgy.
I'm telling you, that's what it is, man. They have to, again, back to Defy Media, back to your MCNs, these people create on paper a very lucrative looking fucking business. Look how much plays we've got. Look how many viewers we've got. Look how many subs we've got. Look, there's all this action going on. Oh, you can make good money out of this if you do it too. But then in actual fact, as the artists were complaining on Spotify in the first instance when this came out, it was, well, you've purposely spread out the views, which means you can then claim, because there's so many views and you can lower the price per view.
It's fucking with the analytics. It's what YouTube's been up to for years.
Yeah, exactly.
probably.
But
Fucking criminal.
that was the reason why YouTube, Twitter, things like that opened up the autoplay function when you scroll past a video. You know, in the initial.
That's a small part of it, but, at least that's on the up and up, and you can see that's happening, even though you might lose control of it, right?
Exactly,
but I'm talking about the behind the scenes fucking with the actual numbers of views and the actual number of subs and people losing subs all over. Remember that thing? People were losing subs all over the place, just mysteriously. You know, we all kind of take part in these kind of online networks, and we presume that they are being honest with us, but it doesn't seem like it a lot of the time. It seems like they're just, it's like a black box.
That's not how
and
business
nobody knows
works.
what goes on inside the black box.
That's not how business makes money. You think honest people are, honest people are poor for a reason. You know what I mean?
Right, what's your recon?
I've got a couple of things actually. So apparently,
a couple more than you've had on podcast. Sorry, I'll stop ripping you.
Well, the good thing is I can kind of rip you for this one. So, Privilege, close your mouth because CO2 is expected to rise.
That's a conspiracy
Apparently, yeah, like it hasn't been, so that was just a wee quick, brief thing.
Climate denial.
Yeah.
They're going to charge us to breathe, right?
We also, NASA has basically found a giant couple of Maltesers stuck together in space.
Awesome.
The New Horizon probe been sent back its picture of the small icy object Ultima Thule, which flew past on New Year's Day.
It's not covered in chocolate though.
No, it's not covered in chocolate.
Basically, one of these forgot to fire the waste disposal port at the sun.
Yeah,
and it's just been flown away.
Pretty much.
I was going to head out there and mine the chocolate.
That just sounds so terribly wrong, mate.
Mine the chocolate.
So, talking about chocolate, apparently, scientists have apparently found out that being fat or being skinny is part of the genes.
It's a conspiracy.
What they claim.
It's a conspiracy.
They're basically calling for people to be a little bit more respectful of skinny or fat people because it could be in their genes.
And give them a donut.
I'm triggered because you're not allowed to say skinny or fat. You mean
horizontally challenged.
Wait, you mean less than average, more than average. Don't say average. Fuck.
You know what?
But you can't say fat or skinny.
You know what? I actually find it offensive not to say those.
You're not playing the Logan Paul card at me. Okay?
I am playing the I am offended by you being offended card.
That's it. I'm going to go fat for a month.
You go fat. Once you go fat, you can't go back.
Literally, the skin stretches, man. It's hard.
So yeah.
Can't say nothing.
So apparently, in the future, there may be a genetic cure.
A genetic cure. Yeah, it's not that type of podcast.
So that's basically what they're trying to say is almost that being fat is actually.
It's got something to do with the size of your genes,
disease.
that's for sure.
Genetic disease. You're not saying it's a genetic disease. Just if it's in the genes, then it is a natural.
It's the waistline of your genes rather than.
But if you think about it,
they're going to give you an injection into your eyeball.
If you think about it, in society, right? If everybody was fat, then being skinny would be classed as a disease because it's not normal.
Maybe it is.
So, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. So they might not be saying that, but they're basically, this society would be like, all right, we need to cure this then.
Maybe like obese is the natural kind of way of human beings, and all the thin people are just like freaks. They're like genetic freaks, but
genetic freaks. You pair a couple of freaks. You're freaking me out with the amount of fucking body shaming that is going on in this fucking podcast.
The only body shaming we do is the fact that you exist.
That's not. That's you. Right.
The fact that you have a body.
Go back to no talking the rest of the podcast. I preferred you then. My recon for the week. I've been saying about Fallout 76 because I'm getting ready for the Indi Scots relay that will have already happened when this podcast drops, but you'll still be able to view the stream a 2-hour relay stream.
Well, so we're in the future.
This is timeception right here.
Whoa.
You're talking about something in the future, in the past, which hasn't happened yet, but will happen when the video gets launched.
Guys, I'm already fucking
will
so
have
far
going
ahead.
to have been happened, but will have happened when it happens.
All I'm saying is keep up. You know what I mean?
We are.
That's not just keeping up. That's keeping up forward and back. What?
But I want to give a special shout out for all the positive feedback we've had lately. A couple of comments. Yeah, that is all the positive. It's good fucking feedback, right?
I've been doing a lot of thinking
Thank
about this, and I think we need to recruit more haters. We want more haters.
Right, so you want me to post more of this on Reddit, right?
Right, well, don't blow your
And
nose
the
in.
Scottish vids on Reddit.
We can't have all people that like us. We need some haters because we need to balance it out.
We need to balance it out. Camden grey.
Balanced
Llama.
criticism here.
Fucking grey Jedi, fucking Darkside over here. Like, what the fuck? Grey side.
Dr. Grayson.
Sounds like a fucking
Dr. Grayson.
Bethesda settlement, right? Sounds like a medical drama. Greyside's an enemy, right?
Heard it here first. Coming soon.
And that about wraps it up for episode 29 of the Unmonetisables podcast, folks. If there's any intelligent sides of life out there, don't dare leave any comments below. This isn't a discussion and no one cares about random's opinions on the internet.
Negative comments. We want negative comments.
If you're a returning consumer of our content or a FAWK virgin, please consider supporting us by subscribing and leaving a rating/review on iTunes. If you're feeling frugal, geez a pound off you over on Patreon. Also, please do check out our channel, The FAWK Chronicles, on YouTube.
We also accept pennies.
While you're there, feel
100
free.
of them.
While you're there, feel free to Defy MCNs all over that subscribe button. I will be streaming at twitch.tv/The FAWK Chronicles at random intervals in the future. Thanks for listening to the only podcast in the galaxy with 3 aliens that have better insults than Marley 13 videos. Apparently. Jinx, you're dead. Until next time, this has been Captain Privilege, Grandmaster Tech, and Dr. Darkside, closing off. Signing off, closing hailing frequencies, ending communications, and gonna go play a different kind of blood sports.
Too much CO2, mate.
I'll leave that
Too long.
interpretation up to you.
Yeah, that's rank.